Hey, my name's Steve, and I'm part of the sales team here at Gregg Distributors. Today, we're going to be talking about the heating power of self-regulating cables and how they can help keep ice dams from creating a mess of your roof. Let's start by talking about ice dams. An ice dam is a ridge of ice that forms at the edge of a roof, which essentially blocks water and prevents it from draining off the roof. Different roof surface temperatures cause the snow at higher portions of the roof to melt, while lower temperatures in the lower portions of the roof cause that melted snow to refreeze, forming ice dams and icicles. The dam grows as it is fed by melting snow above it, eventually creating a reservoir where the water will collect instead of freezing. Without a way off the roof, you've got water backing up and potentially causing leaks in your home. This can cause damage to the walls, ceilings, insulation, and other areas. One of the ways you can keep ice dams from forming is by using a de-icing cable, like this. These self-regulating heat cables keep ice from forming on unheated roof edges, gutters, and downspouts. But what does it mean by self-regulating, you might ask? A self-regulating heating cable automatically varies its heat output as the surrounding temperatures change. The colder it gets, the more heat is generated by the conductive core. When it starts to warm up, the core produces less heat. This regulation happens at multiple points throughout the cable, which provides greater energy efficiency and more uniform temperatures. Something to keep in mind is that these cables are designed for use with non-combustible tab shingles and metal or plastic downspouts. They're not designed for slate, ceramic, or wooden shingles, or for metal, rubber, or flat roofs. Let's start by taking a peek at how these cables look once they're installed. The cable runs along the roof edge in a triangular, sawtooth pattern, with the height of each loop ranging from 18 to 54 inches. Depending on your overhang length. As a rule of thumb, the cable should extend into each heated section of the roof by approximately 6 inches. The cable loops are supported by these roof clips and should be spaced at 2-foot intervals. The clips slide around the edge of the shingle and the little hooks hold your cable in place. Notice how there's no overlap on the cables. This means no overheating. The section of cable that extends over your gutter should have a small loop extending past the edge of the roof. This is called a drip loop and will allow the water to drip right into the gutter instead of collecting on another part of your roof. The gutter and downspout also need to have heating cable installed, or you will end up with ice buildup in places you did not expect. Also, when you have valleys in your roof, you'll need to extend the cable in a loop approximately 6 feet in length. Always make sure that you plug your heat cable into a GFCI, or ground fault circuit interrupter outlet, which is designed to protect users against electric shock from an electrical system. A GFCI outlet will shut itself off after detecting a problem, and it should look familiar to you, since you'll commonly find these outlets in washrooms, kitchens, garages, and laundry areas. If you aren't sure if you've got a GFCI outlet nearby, or if you know the nearest one is too far from where you'd like your installation point to be, you can use the 120-volt GFCI plug-in cord set. This will allow you to have a GFCI outlet wherever you need one. And remember, only plug this cable in when you need it. Self-regulating may be in the name, but that doesn't mean it shuts itself off. And if you don't want to waste power or create a potential fire hazard, make sure to use the cable on an as-needed basis. Next, to calculate the cable length, start by measuring the roof edge length from one side to the other. If you're applying cable to more than one roof edge, you will need to calculate each section separately. Then, measure your roof overhang. The roof overhang is the distance from your roof edge to the face of your outer wall. Once you have your roof overhang, we can reference this handy chart. With your roof overhang, you'll know your cable loop length and length factor. The length factor needs to be multiplied by the roof length, and then you've got your total cable length required for the roof edge. Sounds simple. For example, let's say you have a 24-inch eave overhang and a roof length of 30 feet on a shingle roof. A 24-inch eave overhang means that you have a loop height of 30 inches and a length factor of 2.7. Multiply 30 by 2.7 and you get your total cable length of 81 feet. At this point, you also need to calculate how much cable you will need for the gutter and downspout. For the gutter, you need 1 foot of cable for every 1 foot of the gutter. However, if the gutter is wider than 6 inches, you'll want to use 2 cable lines, one on either side of the gutter. Make sure your gutters are clear of all debris before installing your cable. For the downspout, you'll want 2 feet of cable for every 1 foot of the downspout. This is because you'll be looping the cable down and back up again. If your downspout is longer than 20 feet, you'll want to use a downspout hanger to support the heating cable where it enters and exits the downspout. Now, you've got some options when you're choosing a cable. You can get pre-assembled cables, which should not be cut, so be sure to get the right length of cable for the job. The 120 volt cables range from 6 feet to 100 feet in length and come completed with a standard 15 amp plug, while the 240 volt cables range from 6 feet to 24 feet in length and come with a 30-inch lead connector. These cables should not be linked together for a larger space. And if you need cord ends, we've got them in stock and ready to deliver. If you've got a big project ahead of you, it might be better to invest in some bulk cable. These rolls come in 50 or 250 feet in length and are available in 120 or 240 volts. If you're using bulk cable, you'll need connector kits, or maybe even a splice or T-kit, depending on the design of your roof. Now I know that's a lot of heated information, but if you have any questions, you can call and talk to one of our knowledgeable staff. Or you can visit our website at greggdistributors.ca. Again, I'm Steve, and thanks for watching another episode of Gear Up with Greggs. And hey, thanks for keeping it Canadian.